So about 3 or 4 days ago, it was 31 degrees. It is now 77 degrees. What the heck, Sir Quacks-a-lot? So there's another cemetery I'd like to check out. It's called Metairie Cemetery, and it's in New Orleans, right off the interstate. So Metairie Cemetery used to be a racetrack, a horse racing track, back in 1838. When the American Civil War came about, it was kind of put on hold. The races stopped. After the Civil War, it was converted into a cemetery. The grounds still have the oval shape of the racetrack. When they made it into a cemetery, they wanted it to kind of resemble cemeteries from the eastern area of the world, with like rural landscapes, ponds, lagoons, that kind of thing. Roads all connecting together. And you can see some of that eastern influence here on this monument, which is a bench that overlooks the lagoon out here. And NAEMT, which stands for the National Association for Emergency Medical Technicians. I guess this is for them. In August of 2016, the world lost a legend. Pete Fountain passed away at the age of 86 years old. Pete Fountain is synonymous with New Orleans. His music and his career spanning several decades and playing all different types of music. Dixieland, jazz, Creole, pop music. He's done it all. In 1961, he also started the Half-Fast Walking Club. Say it quickly. This is a Mardi Gras crew that walks the parade route on Mardi Gras Day. It's led by Pete playing his clarinet, and they would throw beads and stuff to the people. Later on in his life, as he got older, he had to ride the back of a mock streetcar, but it was still just as fun. As I was videoing Pete Fountain's tomb, his wife was out here because she was getting ready to decorate the front of it with Mardi Gras beads and stuff. Not a lot, she said, not too gaudy, but being from New Orleans, Pete Fountain and Mardi Gras go together. This is kind of the first year that he won't be involved with Mardi Gras, and she said it's kind of a bittersweet time now because he's not around anymore. But she was very sweet. She didn't mind me videoing his tomb. She was a very nice lady. I've never met Pete, and I mentioned that to her, that I've never met him, but it was a nice pleasure to meet her. She was very sweet. This is the final resting place for Sheriff Harry Lee, who was the sheriff of Jefferson Parish, which is just outside of New Orleans, from 1980 to 2007 when he passed away. He was very outspoken sheriff, but also very well respected too. It looks like some people left him some beers. Some of these tombs here are just incredible. They're very large and just beautifully designed. There are also some very interesting tombs here as well. There's obviously some Egyptian influence with this particular tomb, considering it's shaped like a pyramid, and there's a sphinx-like statue in the front. As odd as it is still very fascinating. Like, I am curious to the story behind it. This is the Egan family tomb, and it is sometimes referred to as the ruined castle. It is modeled after a burned chapel on the family's estate in Ireland. Two of the Egan men that are laid in this tomb died in the Civil War. And it's hard to read some of the inscription here, but you can see the name Egan, and you can see some of the dates inscribed. Pretty impressive. It's the back side of it. Pretty cool. And here lies the legendary band leader, Louis Prima, who is just a gigolo. If you don't know who Louis Prima is, look him up, because he was he's a legend. I like how the angel is holding a trumpet. All of the mausoleums on this strip here is nothing but Italian families. This particular one is for the people of Contessa Entellina, which was a village in Sicily, and happens to be where some of my ancestors are from. This monument stands as a tribute to those men and women of Contessa Entellina who came to this country as pioneers to start a new life. By their industry, integrity, and honor, they earned the respect and admiration of the community. On May 10th of 1881, this tumulus was dedicated to the Army of Northern Virginia. On top is a statue of General Thomas Stonewall Jackson. Probably the most interesting tomb in the cemetery is the Hyams family tomb, which contains the Weeping Angel. This statue is modeled after the Angel of Grief in Rome, which is a very famous statue depicting grief over a lost one. And it's just beautiful. There's another Civil War era tumulus for the Louisiana Division of the Army of Tennessee. It also contains Confederate soldiers lost in the Civil War. It looks like it was built in 1877 by the surviving soldiers of the Army of Tennessee. You can see at the end of the corridor here an American flag and the Confederate flag. Tom Benson, who is the owner of the New Orleans Saints and the New Orleans Pelicans, bought himself a tomb out here. He's still alive, but this is where he will be buried once he passes away. Out of all the cemeteries that I've visited so far, this one is the largest and probably the most interesting. If you ever get a chance, come check out Metairie Cemetery. I'll see you tomorrow.